upside down, right? All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So check this out, brand new album by the group Lionville. Yeah, I'm still promoting new music, folks. So Close to Heaven. This album is fantastic. If you like melodic rock, AOR, really high polished, really smooth and just well produced. This thing kind of plays from start to finish without any real fluff. You can listen to it and be intrigued because it's new music you haven't heard before by a really good band that's been around now for about a decade or so. Just again, here in America, we don't know. Lionville, So Close to Heaven, courtesy of our friends over at Frontiers Music. Now let's talk about Ann and Nancy Wilson. Ann Wilson says, you know, keeping a band together these days is harder than maintaining a marriage. Here's what she actually said. I think it's harder to keep a band together in my experience, and I've only been married once, and I'm still loving it and feel great about it. Her husband was the catalyst, I think, for the breakup of Heart for a few years, where I guess they just needed some time apart, but they came back together again a few years ago, did a tour. But since then, things are a little, you know, just estranged, we'll say. It's harder to keep a band together because you have other people coming, like wives and significant others, talking in your bandmates' ears and maybe saying things that pit them against you or against the group unity. It's really hard. She says it's kind of a revolving door with a band. Yeah, Chicago, for instance, is a band right now with a revolving door. But her comments really kind of, you know, solidify the notion that Heart might be done. You know, Heart as we knew it. Nancy Wilson, she has her version of Heart. She stuck the word Heart on the end of, you know, the band's name, and she's got a new singer named Kimberly Nicole. Is she any good? Yeah, she's good, but I'm getting a lot of pushback that she sounds nothing like Ann, and I would have to agree with that. There's no similarities between Nancy's vocalist and Ann Wilson, and fans of Heart, they do want to hear Ann. I've been, I don't know, just weirded out by Ann Wilson since her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction of the Moody Blues, which was weird. And also, I guess the situation with her husband, where she's really part of this Me Too culture, and she's promoted it, yet her husband did everything possible to kind of tarnish that viewpoint, in my estimation. I mean, it would be better not to have a viewpoint, or at least publicly not advocate all the time. And then, you know, you create space between you and half of your fans. And then those fans are like, I don't care, I'll go and see the show anyway. But then it's just this constant drumbeat that you start to think to yourself, maybe I'll go see a tribute band, you know, because there are a bunch of Heart tribute bands out there. Of course, Ann has a brand new album coming out on April 29th called Fierce Bliss. And Nancy got on the road and will be touring with Styx. I don't know at every date or every gig it will be Styx, but I know Styx had joined up with a couple of other bands to go out on tour. So I don't know. I would probably be interested in seeing Nancy Wilson's version of this, but it's hard for me to ignore that Ann Wilson is, you know, she's an icon, and whether I like her behavior or not, she's really hard to replace. But she is 71 years old, and I'm just wondering how much further everybody can take this without revamping or finding maybe a singer. But I mean, you have to have Ann and Nancy Wilson for Heart to be Heart, you know. And most people would say, yeah, and even those guys who were in the band originally, you'd have to bring them in too to really be heart. And I tend to agree with that. But, she says it's been like a revolving door. And I think a lot of times it's a revolving door because people are just hard to deal with. People really suck at times. And we're seeing it more and more as time goes on, that it's difficult to have relationships with people, that even people you like, because the world is just a different place now. In any event, I don't know. This is probably going to lead to the end of this band, but for me to predict it flat out and say, "Yep, Heart's over," it's premature. I mean, money was on the table and it got rejected, and Anne doesn't seem to care about that, whereas Nancy does. So I think Nancy's trying to be a savvy businesswoman and also make the most of things while you still can. And I don't think Anne really cares. They probably both have enough money where this isn't an issue, but maybe not. You'd be surprised the things I learn about people in this business where I think, yeah, they're financially set. And then I find out, no, they own like all this crap, but they're in debt up to their eyeballs. So this is what happens when you live this lifestyle, and then you can't unlive this lifestyle once you've lived it, if that makes sense. All right, people. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, Patreon for $1 a month. If you can keep giving $1, that's excellent. If you can do $2, $5, $3, whatever. We've got some great people over on Patreon who really have stepped up to the plate and continue to support this channel. And during this dry season where gas prices now are, and you're saying, yeah, they are, and that's why I can't give you the $1 a month, dude. And I'm like, I totally understand. But if you can, great. If you can't, I understand. If you're not driving a lot, you might be able to afford the $1 a month. So thanks again, folks, and we'll see you soon.